Where do I even begin? So I guess maybe with some stats before I get into the review. First things first, it's important that we don't confuse this Indian film with being a Bollywood film. It's not. Bollywood is predominantly filmed in Mumbai with the language Hindi. This film's predominant language is Telugu and it's filmed in Tollywood, which is South India. So its release date was March 25th of 2022, at least in the Western world. And you can currently find it on Netflix, however, just the Hindi version. So it's dubbed, but the main characters also speak Hindi, the actors, so they dub themselves. The film's budget was
3,500,000,000
rupees, which gets converted to 45 million US dollars. And so far, it has racked in almost 100 million US dollars worldwide. It stars N.T. Rama Rao Jr. and Ram Charan, who are right now the hottest stars in Tollywood. The tagline goes as such: it's a fictitious story about two legendary revolutionaries and their journey away from home before they started fighting for their country in the 1920s. Alright, but let's get into the meat of it. Its storyline goes as such. During the British era, Mali, a small tribal girl, is taken away by British Governor Scott Buxton and his wife Catherine against the wishes of her parents. A Rama Raju, an Indian cop who works for the British Army, has the world view that duty comes first, as he is very ruthless to revolutionary Indians, but he is never credited for his due by the British government. The British government find that a tribal, Komaram Bhim, who considers Mali his sister, has started his search for her and could be an obstacle for the British Army. The governor and his wife announces a special post for any officer who can bring Bhim to them. Rama Raju decides to take the matters in his hands and promises the government to bring him dead or alive. Bhim by now has reached the city in search of Mali and pretends to be a mechanic. Then, during a train accident on the lake, he and Rama Raju risk their lives to save a child and become best friends. But both men will clash with each other, ultimately becoming thirsty for each other's blood to complete their missions. Okay, now onto my review for the film. It's a very long film, which is extremely common for Indian films. However, it is jam-packed. This is like one of the better films I've seen this year, honestly. Especially in its first half. The introduction to the characters and the drama that ensues is so intense. By the time it got to the halfway point, it just, my heart was broken. These two men, the friendship that they had created and how it was broken, it did something to me. Not a lot of films nowadays focus on friendships. Usually it's about love or it's about a mission. So it was extremely refreshing to see. In the second half, we learned more about Rama Raju and his upbringing that led to him being a cop in the first place. And once all is revealed, finally, the two come back together for one final epic battle against the governor. And it's pure action cinematic gold. And in typical Indian cinema fashion, it ends with a song, number, and dance. And honestly, it's something I feel like Hollywood maybe needs a little bit more of. I'm not too familiar with Indian films as an entire genre sect, but this has set the bar, basically, for any future film I see. So all in all, I highly recommend RRR to anybody who's interested. It's on Netflix, it has the subtitles, so by all means, please check it out. And I'm giving RRR a solid 8 out of 10, or a 4 out of 5 stars on Letterboxd. Thank you guys so much for watching this review, and until next time, ciao for now. Peace.